Welcome to Rivonomics. I'm your host Salahuddin. Today we are talking about something that quietly decides how much money you make, how stressed you feel about it, and whether wealth ever becomes a sustainable reality in your life. And no, it's not hustle, it's not intelligence, it's not even fortune factor. It's all about where you are standing when you look at money, when you deal with money. This is the world of micro and macro lenses. Let's start with a basic understanding. Imagine standing so close to a painting that all you can see is one brush stroke. Now imagine stepping back far enough to see the entire picture. Both views are real, both are true, but both tell very different stories. That's the difference between these two lenses through which you live your financial lives, the micro lens and the macro lens. This isn't about cameras for photography. This is about how your brain operates while interacting with this world. Most of us experience money at the micro level. This is the world of to-do lists, daily expenses, prices, discounts, routines, job, deadlines, bills, EMIs, impulse buying, financial stress that shows up randomly, and everything urgently screaming, "Do this now." Micro thinking is short term. At the micro level, money feels personal, it feels emotional, it feels urgent, it feels like something that's always happening to you immediately. Micro living is reactive. Things happen and you respond. Micro lens makes you ask questions such as, what is happening to my money today? What do I need today? How much do I earn this month? Can I afford this right now? Does this seems useful? Does this feels like a good deal? Everyone else is buying it, so should I? I will figure out this financial mess later. And that makes sense because micro thinking is immediate. It's about today, this week, this month. Micro thinking is not pointless or mindless. It's human. Your brain naturally handles small, fast decisions, not overall scenarios. The micro level is where 95% of the world lives. The micro level isn't bad. We need it. It keeps life functioning. But at the micro level, your relation with money becomes emotional, reactive, short-term, sensory. You see prices, not financial patterns. You see costs, not economic currents. You see outcomes, not monetary structures. And that's why micro money life often feels hit or miss event. Here's the problem. When you live entirely at the micro level, you are always in the responding mode. Something happens, you adjust. A payment is due, you react. Prices rise, you worry. Income drops, you panic. You're being affected from inside the system, but you just cannot see that system itself. That's why effort feels endless, progress feels distant, far away, wealth feels separated and elusive. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you are looking at money from a very nearby position, just like the painting brush stroke example. And that is why people can work very hard, yet never escape the cycle of earning, spending, repeating. Because micro effort creates income, but it is the macro thinking that goes on to create wealth. Now let's zoom out, way out, and it's right here where macro thinking happens. This is where long-term economics thinking happens. This is where financial systems are built. This is where monetary strategy lives. And this is where macro thinking asks bigger questions, such as what system will generate income for the next 10 years? How do I build something that works even when I'm not working? How do markets move? How do companies scale? How does the entire money system function at all? Macro is not about transactions, it is about systems translation. Macro thinkers look at market trends instead of moments, economic cycles instead of events, incentives instead of emotions, structures instead of shopping spree. At the macro level, money stops feeling personal and mechanical and starts feeling structured and strategic. And that is an incredible awakening. Macro thinkers don't wake up asking, "What should I buy?" They ask, "Why are people buying this now? What conditions made this profitable? Who benefits when this trend grows? Where is demand being created? How long will this cycle last?" They study how prices are set, how scarcity is manufactured, how desire is shaped, how attention becomes revenue, how behavior turns into predictable patterns. Macro thinkers are not emotional about money, they are curious about it. They don't chase money, they observe and explore how cash flows and then indulge and position themselves accordingly. Let's take a real world example. Imagine two people. Person A works a job, gets paid monthly, buys things, pays bills, repeats. Person B works to build a skill-based service, a repeatable system, a digital product, an investment habit, or a business structure that grows over time. Same effort at the start, but radically with different outcomes. Why? Because person B is acting through the macro lens instead of the micro. Let's say a new product launches. Micro response is like, "This looks cool. Everyone's talking about it. I don't want to miss out. I will buy it now." Whereas the macro response is, "Who is this for? What problem does it claim to solve? Why now? What emotion is being triggered? Who profits whether this succeeds or fails?" Same product, different lens. Micro-minded people consume the experiences offered by the system. Macro-minded people studies that system itself. Here is a critical truth. You can very well make money at the micro level, but you can only build and sustain wealth at the macro level. Because wealth is not about movement, it's about position. If you only understand money in terms of when it enters your bank account or leaves your wallet, you are usually late and left behind in pursuing money. But macro thinkers are early not because they predict the future, but because they recognize patterns before those patterns become known to others. They don't rely on effort, they rely on awareness, perspective, leverage, and scaling. Micro thinking emphasizes labor. Work harder, save more, spend carefully, invest smartly. Macro thinking emphasizes leverage, systems, timing, scaling, incentives. Labor is limited by your energy, but leverage is multiplied by systematic structure. That's why two people can pursue money and wealth equally with passion, yet end up in completely different financial realities. Being micro means pushing inside the system. Being macro means controlling and designing where that system should move. Here is the bitter part. Society trains people to survive, not to thrive. We are taught how to earn, how to behave, how to be useful, but not how markets are designed, how demand is engineered, how value is multiplied, how wealth compounds. So most people become passive participants but never observing performers. The bitter part is that you cannot outplay a system which you don't understand in the first place. The move from micro to macro is not sudden. It starts with one habit. Stop asking the "what should" questions and instead start asking the why does questions. Why does this product sell? Why does this job pay more? Why does this industry grow? Why does money concentrate here? Those why does questions pull you upward, not out of the professional life, but above the monotonous layman noise. Micro lens simply keeps you moving. Macro lens tells you where you are moving. Micro lens keeps you busy. Macro lens keeps you purposeful. And wealth, real stable wealth, doesn't come from hustling, saving, or even investing faster inside the system. It comes from seeing the system clearly enough to choose from where to control and command it. And remember, perspective prepares prosperity. And once you percept it, you can mastermind it. I'm Salahuddin. This is Rivonomics, and you are awakening.